Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you are watching for the first time. Click the notification bell. You can also like and share our videos. And to all our supporters, I want to say thank you in a very special way. When William Ruto appointed Isaac Mwaura into the office of the government spokesperson, the idea was to bring harmony, order and sanity in terms of communication and coordination among all the government offices, so that this government would have a common position, a common statement on some of the very vital and confusing aspects of governance. But the appointment of Isaac Mwaura seems to be rocking this government, and it is a headache. It is not solving the purpose for which it was created. Today, Isaac Mwaura had indicated that, in fact, there was a kind of invitation, and it read, the government spokesperson, Honorable Senator Dr. Isaac Mwaura, CBS, will brief the media on Sunday, 17th December 2023 on diplomatic issues. And the time was supposed to be 11 a.m. Date is 17th, of course, and the venue was supposed to be the Bomas of Kenya. Kindly provide coverage. Mr. Joshua Arap Sang, Director Public Communication. So that was a very crystal clear kind of invitation. And I think the media was very, very ready to cover whatever Isaac Mwaura had in store for us. And I remember one of the people who wondered what was happening is Ahmed Nasir. Ahmed was asking, now, what is this nonsense? Don't we have a competent CS and a PS, Dr. Singulei Korir, to brief us or brief the world on diplomatic issues relevant to Kenya? This government is a circus, and not even an entertaining one at that. So Ahmed Nasir feels or felt that Isaac Mwaura is not a man of the caliber that should speak on matters diplomatic, and he felt that either Mudavadi or his PS Korean should assume that role instead of leaving it to Isaac Mwaura. I don't know why he feels Isaac Mwaura is incompetent. What is your take on Isaac Mwaura in that docket? Does he fit to be a government spokesperson? And very many people were wondering. Now, a few hours later, this was cancelled, and the office of the government spokesperson just went and cancelled that invitation. And it has left many Kenyans wondering why such an important invitation can be cancelled without any explanation. And I just thought for a while that this could have not been without any reason. And this is the first time this is happening. There was a time when Amason Kingi also tried to communicate something about the bilateral relationship between Kenya and another country. It was reported there, PS Singolei tells Speaker Kingi to keep off foreign affairs docket. That is how it was. And the situation was, Amason Kingi had met a certain leadership from the Democratic of Congo, and this is what he had said. I met in my office of parliamentary buildings this afternoon His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Ahmed Mohamud, the Somaliland ambassador to Kenya, during which we explored new avenues for collaboration and partnership between our governments. That was what King said. What followed was not very palatable. The PS in the Foreign Affairs Ministry did not have kind words for him. He told him, foreign policy of the Republic is a function of the national government, and that Parliament's role is to oversight the exercise of foreign relations by the national government. That is it. He didn't mince words. And so when Isaac Mwaura had called for this and wanted to brief people on diplomatic issues, I think this is the same thing that happened. I think he just got a call from either Kosgei or Mudavadi not to do. And Kosgei will do it because I can assure you that there is a supremacy battle between the mountain and the rift within the government offices, within the ministries. And those are not my words. I remember at some point, Alice Wahome, who was then in the Ministry of Land, lamented that there were some government officials who were overriding her decision. Some meetings were being held, decisions were being made without her knowledge, and she felt bad about it. Alice has since been relocated or transferred to the Ministry of Lands. She was in water then, water department. Now she's in lands. You all know by now that when Ruto made his cabinet appointments, he was very cunning about it. In every ministry that there is someone from Mount Kenya, there is a permanent secretary. If the person from Mount Kenya is a minister or a cabinet secretary, he's given a checkmate. And if it's the PS, the checkmate is the CS. And there is a lot of battle. Of course, this is not the first time. Even in the coalition government, there was a lot of rift. And so I think Mwaura must have been called or intimidated somehow to cancel that meeting. Being that this is a foreign affairs ministry, things are very sensitive. Like you see, in Somaliland, there are two kinds of governments that are rivaling each other. One that is recognized, another one that is a bit opaque. And so when King met one of them, it was going to jeopardize the relationship with the Somaliland or Somali main, I don't know what they're called. And so they had to work very carefully. Otherwise, they would tarnish the bilateral relationship between the two countries. Remember, this was also coming at a time when there were reports that on Friday, rebels formed a kind of military wing, rebels from Congo, formed a kind of military wing called the Congo River Military. And this union brought together rebels, militias, and the reports were coming at a time when Congo is only 3 days to their presidential election. And this has really resulted into a diplomatic spat where the Congolese government, Felix Tshisekedi, recalled his ambassador to Nairobi. He was called back to the country. And the Kenyan counterpart in Congo was also summoned to be grilled to explain what exactly is happening. So I think when Isaac Mwaura was going to conduct this report, the media was going to grill him, to put him to task, to explain exactly what is happening. And because they were not prepared, it was only viable to cancel that meeting. Let me tell you something. Sometimes it is good to cancel than to go and humiliate yourself, because you can try to defend a situation that cannot be defended. So I think it in view and in light of what had happened and the reports that Kenya was supporting a rebel against a sitting president, he had to cancel this. Those reports were not really going to give him, palatable moments. There also seems to be a lack of coordination among the cabinet. Before Isaac Mwaura invites media or reports that is going to talk about foreign diplomacy, he should have contacted Mudavadi's office to ensure that they are reading from the same page, because there should never be disharmony in a government. But anyway, when you look at this government, there is already disharmony. At one point, you will see the Treasury CS Ndungu telling us that the economic situation is so dire that we cannot even pay salaries. And William Ruto on his speech during the Jamhuri Day told us that we are out of debt and Kenya is on the right track. So we have a government that is confused. We don't know. They are speaking from both sides of the mouth. And the lack of coordination within the cabinet and several departments resulted to this. Next time, they should ensure, it's just a phone call away, they should sit together, and I think all the government ministries should be giving their position to Mwaura, so that when Mwaura reads or tells journalists and Kenyans the position of certain matters about the situation in the country, then it should be one that is shared among the relevant ministries, so that they don't speak from different positions. If you ask me, it has got also to do with a planned interview. William Ruto is going to be, people are now talking of grilling, that Sam Gituku is going to grill him. He's going to shed light on some issues that are bedeviling Kenyans, his journey ever since he took oath of office. And I think they decided not to allow Isaac Mwaura to preempt, because if he said something, it was going to be used against William Samoei Ruto. So they decided to stop it so that William Ruto will know how to handle it when he is with Sam Gituku on Citizen TV. And as I said, it is better to cancel, it is better to stop than to mess further. I don't know what you think, but we are reading a lot of miscoordination and misunderstanding among the government offices.